Hello and welcome to SWIMFANS. This is your number one premium erotic thriller podcast for the week. I am your co-host. We put the guy from Saw 1 into a comic book shop. I'm Josh McKenzie.
Draw me like one of your English teachers. I'm Craig Neeson.
I'm R.E. Jennifer Hawkins' tits.
This week on the podcast, we are talking 2013 Malik Bader film, Crush.
I just do it.
Now, I realize that could be any movie that we've ever done on the show with a name like Crush. So in the very likely event that you haven't seen this, this is the plot. So this movie stars Lucas Till. His name is Scott, all right? He's blonde. Okay, he's athletic. I don't know that they say this, but I'm getting that he's the most popular boy in school. What's important to know about Scott, and I have a major bone to pick with this later, is that not only is he athletic and handsome, but he's also apparently very smart and reportedly very artistic. So he's really everything. We don't see any of this, but the movie does tell you so. So Scott has kind of like a bum knee. Perhaps he's injured it. We don't really know. So that is important. And he also has a best friend named Jules. Jules is in love with Scott, and Scott seems to sort of return her feelings, but most importantly, he needs her as a friend. Is what I'm getting at. He likes her, and he might even love her, but for now he just wants her near him. So I think before the plot goes any further, I'm going to list off all of the women who are actively ghouling Scott, because I think that will be helpful. So in addition to Jules, we have Bess, okay? And Bess is sort of like I would say the axis the movie turns on. Bess is pretty, but she's alternative and shy. Which are two major strikes against a teen girl, as I understand it. So she works at a comic book shop. She is, like I said, quiet, shy, artistic, whatever. She is actually being actively stalked by a boy named Jeffrey. But she is head over heels in love with Scott. She has what you might say is a crush on him. She at some point prior to the events of the movie, she has seen that he has incredible artistic ability, and she has been like sort of savoring a drawing that he threw away. She stays up all night watching his Facebook statuses. She at one point photoshops a picture of herself. Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was going to be. The bit was photoshopping an uncolor corrected image of myself next to Craig Neeson. I'm Josh McKenzie. Anyway, so she's down bad.
I screamed at my TV when that came up. You won't believe the swooping in motion that it makes into frame. So anyway, she has a crush on him in like a weird sort of teen girl way. But importantly, she's also pretty and she's alternative. Okay, so that's two. Next, there is Andy. Now, Andy is a somewhat older woman. I'm guessing like in her mid-20s somewhere, and she is Bess's coworker at the comic shop, and she bumps into Scott. We see that she continues to pop up sort of in these situations. Lastly, you have Mrs. Brown or Miss Brown, who is his former English teacher. I believe at the start of the movie, they are in high school, and there's like a time skip somewhere in the beginning, middle, where they graduate high school. And now we're in the summer after graduation, because she says, "Hey, I'm not your English teacher anymore. You can call me Nancy. Maybe we can get together sometime," she says sexually. Smooth.
So, there are at least four women who are actively hungering for Scott. So now that we've got that out of the way, Scott is right at the start of the movie. He's at a party. He injures his knee. As I said, he has a weak knee. So he spends much of the movie sort of rehabilitating his knee. Pretty much any scene we see Scott in, he is jogging or he is doing squats. Those are kind of the two things that he's doing. He is going about his life trying to figure him out while all of the women that he knows are doing like machinations around him. He bumps into Andy on the street. Bess attempts to leave him an anonymous confession letter. He does not follow up on it because obviously it's an anonymous letter. Jules makes a move on him, and he's sort of like rejects her. He's like, no, I'm not going to. I need you to be my friend right now. Again, the teacher tries to hook up with him. So a lot of the movie is just these scenes of women attempting to prey upon Scott. Things sort of change though. At some point, the stalker begins to take a more malicious series of actions. They threaten Jules, like they write, "He's mine, bitch," or something on her sliding glass door. A stalker badly injures a teammate of his who's like his rival on the soccer team. And then they starts to escalate even more. The stalker nearly kills Miss Brown. They club her with a tree branch and then shove her off a cliff. But I do believe she lives. And Scott, Bess tries to finally make herself known. She's like, "Look, I saved your drawings. You're more than just a jock. You're an artist." And he's creeped out by this. So now he believes Bess to be doing all of the stalking. Things continue to escalate when Scott leaves his phone unattended, and the stalker sends out a picture of Jules's breasts to a series of people at school, a lot of people. So Jules no longer wants anything to do with him. And Jules, upset, goes to a party. And at this party, she gets very drunk. She meets Bess, who offers her a tissue, and the two girls kind of connect a little bit. Jules goes to lay down, and the stalker begins to smother her with a pillow. The reason that I'm tracking Bess's movements so closely is because the movie's red herring is that Bess is the stalker and also the murderer. But what we see immediately after this is that Scott is going for a drive. And he hits Andy, Bess's coworker, with a truck. He just bumps into her. He doesn't maim her or whatever. But she gets him back to hit her house to help with the injury. And then she traps him in the basement. She mangles his leg by stepping on his already injured knee. So now finally we come to understand that Andy is in fact the stalker. The woman who seemed to have the least to do with him is the malignant one. Bess, who is sort of now getting over her crush, goes to want to talk to Andy, who she sees as an older woman who's got it all figured out. So she goes in there. At one point she kills the guy from Saw, who's her boss. She just kind of ices him. There were a lot of other options she could have done there, but she kills him. So when Bess enters, she finds that guy's corpse. She finds so she comes over. The events in this movie, they're all coming to my brain. It's like a torrent. I want to talk about them all simultaneously. So what Andy has done is she has trapped Scott in her basement, and she says, "I'll let you go if you draw me like you drew her," referring to the English teacher. So she hands Scott a sketchbook, and he draws her, and he makes a pretty nice drawing. I would say in terms of movies that have art in them, this is on the better side. Yeah. He makes a fairly decent drawing of her, but she hates it for some reason. So she's like, "Do it again." He's able to get by her and get upstairs. He I think he kicks her or something. He's able to get by her and crawl upstairs while she's recovering. This is when Bess arrives. She sees her dead boss. She sees Scott incredibly injured in his leg. And at the same time, the guy who's stalking Bess comes in. So really just everybody in the movie is coming to this random woman's house, right?
Ghouling ghouls who are ghouling.
So they're able to fight off Andy. Scott is able to deliver a square kick with his good leg and he kicks her down the stairs. And Jeffrey, the stalking boy, comes over and locks the door. So basically where we're at is that Bess, Jeffrey, and Scott are in the house. Andy is locked in the basement. The comic book shop guy is dead. The teacher is badly maimed. And now everything's out on the table. He knows that it's not Bess who is stalking him, but was in fact this random lady. In the epilogue of the movie, Bess and the stalking boy get together for some reason. She is now over her crush of Scott. And she's decided that this absolute fucking goon is a good idea. So they sort of end up falling for each other. And then the penultimate scene is that Scott, his knee
recovering, but of course, his soccer scholarship is shot. He's decided that he wants to go to art school. So Jules comes over. They sort of, finally sort of reunite. And he's like, I'm going to go to art school. And then the last scene, setting up what I can only imagine was supposed to be Crush 2, was the
Hardly crushing.
Is like a lawyer or something, or like a doctor at the insane asylum, being like, you've maimed so many boys in your attempt to make them love you back. I think we'll see you again. And she's like, yeah, I don't stay in one place for very long, before the movie ends. What did we think about Crush?
I think this is better than Dad Crush, but worse than Deadly Mile High Club.
Interesting.
There's juice to be found in this rock. I'm not entirely sure where. I don't think it's the script. I think that there is maybe some like fun in like the way the ghouling is shot. Like it comes off as more like giallo-y than a lot of other erotic thrillers. Like if you took all of the unique style away from Dario Argento and just injected him with a full dose of like Hallmark Channel, it seems like you might get something like this, but like that kind of doesn't fully track because it's not really like a mystery movie. It's a movie with a plot twist in it. So like in theory, you're not supposed to realize that Bess isn't taking all these people out. But because you never see her face when she's ghouling, at a certain point, it's just obvious that it's not going to be her. I don't know. It's just not lining up to me. It would be a bigger twist if it was her at the end, because like you can recognize basic cinematic language. You'd never see this woman's face. You just see like an outline of a brunette person. I thought, I don't know. The thought came through my mind where maybe it was going to be her and that there is no twist at all. And she has like a fucked up family thing where they're either like dead or doing some kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre family dinner thing. None of that happened, but we did get a ghoul dungeon. And you know what? I'm credit where it's due. They had one of those. One thing that I actually really liked are the scenes of Bess and whoever that like psycho with like no soul behind his eyes whose fault. What was his name?
Jeffrey.
I don't know if it was like an intentional choice by the filmmaker, but their scenes together felt a lot like Sandra Bernhard and Robert De Niro in The King of Comedy. Where it's like two like irredeemable weirdos with like no grasp of any social contract screaming at each other. Like there was like a really kind of good weird energy in that. And I don't know if like you're supposed to feel so that detached from the characters or not, but like there was something going on there. For like eroticism, there's not too much to really latch on to here. Other than like when main guy and Jules are like making out, for some reason the camera just starts like Dutch angling frantically and like zooming in and stuff. Like it completely switches styles in that scene. But like it's not like there's no like real eroticism to it. It's just kind of just two people kissing. Other than that, I think you see some bras maybe. Oh, and if you look at the poster of the movie, it gives the twist away that the killer is Andy. It's like when they re-release Planet of the Apes and they show the blown up Statue of Liberty on the poster, and it's like that was supposed to be like the twist ending, and now you just market it with it, but like without like legacy to base that decision on,
Yeah, that's an incredible choice.
Had fun, I guess.
So I have a question. It's a rhetorical one. Don't answer it. Can women live? Are women allowed to live? Is this
Wait, what is this fucking 1984? God forbid a woman have hobbies.
I mean, I am seeing three incredibly healthy women. This is like pretty incredible. I loved this film. Okay, I'm gonna set aside the fact that every scene is colored by a monkey. You know, they just fucking were like, you know, just go to town. You know, like they trained an ape to a desk. We're like, just color this how you want. Puke green, gunmetal blue.
Crank that contrast. Who cares?
I mean, the thing that gets me in this fucking film is that, of course, it's like it's pulling from all these things, and it you know, we have an object of desire, which is the boy, and then you know everyone in the film lusting after them, and then of course there's meta ghouling that happens, which I think is fascinating. A ghoul is being ghouled in the film, which I don't think we've ever seen. But this idea, I think there is eroticism here, and it's solely the camera looking at the hot guy. That's it. He's taking off his shirt. I mean, he's mostly just taking off his shirt. He's swimming. He's doing his Jesse Bradford impression by swimming. The film ripping off a swim fan.
Like directly, yeah.
Directly, completely directly. Also, Misery at one point. The film becomes Misery. But like, there's something really fucking amazing and deeply enjoyable about like the entire cast lusting over one fucking guy. And I get it. He's a two-dimensional. He's a cardboard cutout. There's nothing to him. They try to like give him stuff, but nothing really sticks. He has a dad, and the dad's like perpetually like, "Man, I just got home from work," or whatever, and it was tough.
Dads do be saying that. Dads are always saying that.
It's like, okay, shit, God, this fucking relationship's rocky, man. This dad just got home from work all the time. But yeah, like, Bess is phenomenal. And everyone is hot. I think that's what helps sell the film for me too, is that everyone is just insanely hot. Bess with her, you know, or her black hoodies that go way past her wrist that she can't help but constantly tug on. You know, there's a lust after this sort of Aryan figure in the soccer player, which is also strange that they made him a soccer player, not like a football player. But there's no like see, we opened with a packed stadium, and that's not how soccer works in America. That's you're getting like the secondary court on like an off day. Like that you're not getting like the field. I'm sorry, but yeah, there's a compelling point here, and the point is like, how hot is this guy? Holy shit, awooga! And I think that's amazing. I think the magnetic pull between the alt girl and the girl next door and the teacher and the sociopath comic book store woman, I think that's fucking great. I think the fact that they all wanna fuck is like, I encourage. Not only do I encourage, I condone. I condone everything it might take for that to happen. And like, you know, and if that means, you know, oh shit, you just hit me while you were running, or oh, you just bumped into me while you were driving, and then I sliced my leg open so that you would take me to my house. I think that's all on the level. I want these women to get what they deserve, right? You've come a long way, honey, and you need to get what you want. And like, I'm so for these women, and I'm a feminist now.
Good for her, Craig screams at the screen.
And like, I think lead is appropriately hot. Like, and I was like, you know what, you deserve it. But I was saying that to everyone, like, it just, I was wrapped by the film. I really thought it was quite special. It's dog shit. Again, from a script point of view, from a camera, from a coloring, from a like just like dialogue, just baffling. The acting might actually be kind of passable, but like everything else, just a dog shit movie. But really wrapped by it. Thought this was special.
Yeah. Yeah. So this movie, what I want to give big ups to is that this movie quite literally, you guys, starts with the Webster Dictionary definition of the word crush. So I think the movie was smart because truly it craters your expectations, like right at the jump. The movie's like Webster's Dictionary defines a crush as, and then immediately you just glaze over. You're like, oh, I have to watch another fucking SWIMFANS movie.
It's actually, sorry, not to correct you, he says Webster's Dictionary's fourth definition of crush. Even worse.
Immediately just cratering your expectations, right? So then when the movie gives you an insane setup, right? You have a generically all-American boy. He's like cute, but he's not like, no, he's not that cute. But he's like he plays sports and he's pleasant. And that has activated like the fucking like predator system inside of every woman in this small town. And when I tell you that the fact that they just kept adding women to the cast was crazy. So first they give you Jules, and then you get Bess, and you're like, oh, that's the ghoul. Oh no, wait, that's the ghoul. And then like 3 more women are added to the cast. It is a whirlwind. I was like, I literally don't know who's gonna be stalking Scott. It's so much fun. It could be any of these women, and I sort of hoped it would be all of them, like sort of making like a coven to sexually distress this boy into I don't know what. So like the movie does sort of keep you guessing for some of it. I was like, all of these women are wanting to rip this man, this boy apart and consume bits of his flesh. So, it was sort of fun to guess who the ghoul was going to be. It was sort of fun to see because all of the women have the eponymous crush. So it was when the stalking became malignant, it was sort of fun to kind of. It was a bit of a whirlwind. So, there was more than just you had a secretary give you a blowjob and now she's evil. There was at least a little bit like you don't know which of the women in your small town are going to do misery to you. I agree with Craig. I do think there's a shocking amount of eroticism in this movie. I love when a presumably straight guy taps into what a man liker might appreciate seeing. There are a lot of slow tracking shots of Lucas Till's torso. I'm thinking especially of the scene where the stalker is in the closet and he's like sleeping shirtless and it's just like just tracing the lines of his body down to like sort of like his hip area and a woman's hand reaches out to like go to touch it. It's moments like that I think are fairly successful in terms of eroticism. There's some pretty nice stuff. Because again, can't stress this enough. All that he does in this movie is go running and do squats. This is all hot boys do, is they run and do squats. And so there's some equally good sort of erotic shots of him doing squats. I do think that what this movie might lack in sort of the female eroticism, because it's pretty standard. I mean, like the girls aren't doing too much because this is clearly for girls, I think, probably. So like, what it lacks in that arena, I do think it makes up for in exploiting Lucas Till in this movie.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, like basically, I think
I have two major bones to pick with this movie, and I'll wait till we get out of this segment. But like, I think that this movie I expected a lot fucking worse going in. I expected something a lot more boring. And what you got was just an insane number of women tormenting this teenager. And yeah, you love to see it. It's at least something I haven't seen 100 times.
Honestly work.
Honestly work. Craig just like snapping like whenever somebody does something.
Kicking his already bruised knee honestly worked.
I think I mean, just to like get into it, I think where this movie really flops is like, okay, so in an erotic thriller, it's a beautiful genre, right? Because all you need is like a semi-plausible setup and some erotic photography, and that can get you very far, I would say. You don't really need like characters. So when we're given Scott, who has all the dimension of cardboard, that's fine, generally speaking. The problem is that when you've predicated all of your ghouls, sort of all of their actions and all of their backgrounds off of what we aren't seeing, it becomes a bit of a problem. All of these women are hyperfixated on Scott for things that you don't see in the movie, which I think is quite confusing. Jules, they're like best friends or whatever, but they really don't spend any time together in a way that isn't her trying to have sex with him. And of course, Scott saying, "You're my best friend," about half a dozen times, which really is a boner killer, I would say, typically. Bess has this idea of him in her head that he's like an artist and he's misunderstood, but that's not in the movie. Like, he doesn't say that. He doesn't identify as that. That's not like a secret passion he has. This isn't like High School Musical where he has to hide his secret passion from his abusive, hot father, who I love, who's in Mindhunter. And I forgot to mention how much I love him in Mindhunter. So this isn't like that kind of thing either. It's just something that Bess tells you. I don't even know what Andy's thing is. I think she just saw him once and she's like, "That's the guy I'm going to feed upon."
Yeah, I guess so.
The teacher kind of gets a scene where she's like, "I know you didn't read the book." So actually she likes him because he was bad at English class. Where she's awesome. Like, "I know you didn't read the book that I love. Anyway, we should still hook up though."
Teachers love that.
Hey,
So
you big
When you
dumb
ignore
lug.
them in class.
frankly, same. I mean, not with a student, but like, I love a guy who didn't read a book that I recommended. But so the flat character thing only comes into sort of conflict when the character is told over and over again that he's actually round and has depth, but like, it's not in the movie. And I think that becomes a real issue. Because it's really like highlighting how little there is to Scott when that probably wouldn't exist before. Because what the movie does show you about Scott is that he's hot and that he's nice. And I don't know how to tell the director of this movie that is enough to form a crush on. You don't need to be anything other than hot and nice. If he had simply like been pleasant to Bess in the hallway once,
Yep.
that's enough. This whole like art school thing doesn't have to happen. If you can like have the best friend thing with Jules, but like, I just think they need a little like chemistry that isn't non-sexual if you really want to sell that idea. If you're going to make an erotic thriller, you can have one-dimensional characters, just don't remind me of it every single scene.
Yeah.
It becomes an issue.
Well, there could, I don't want to be like, here's how you correct the movie or something, but like, you could be really like kind of economical with that, of like just showing him in class, like being really smart, like being one of the best artists in art class. There's like infinite number of ways that you could, like, the movie clearly has a budget, like there's a lot of people in it. You could just do another classroom scene where it sort of goes into it, and like maybe girls are swooning after him or something, like there's just ways you could get that in there before just sort of telling it to us at the end of the movie.
Yeah. Because like, I don't know, it really, in fact, you could have just cut it all out, I would say. The stuff about, and this is actually my second bone to pick, because I think it's quite it's like a mixed message or something. So typically, in my opinion, filmically, when you have a character choose to go to art school at the end, I'm thinking of movies we've done on the show, such as Ghost World or something like that. Art school is liberatory. Art school is your escape from the small town. Of course, that's not the way art school really is, but this is the way that art school is used. So when you have this image of art school being used for something that has only been used to torture Scott, it's weird to then go to art school. The only time art has been brought up is to publicly embarrass and creep him out by Bess and to do Misery 2 by Andy. And so it's hard to imagine that after that, he's like, yeah, I love art and drawing.
Time to follow my passion.
And it's confusing because he doesn't love art. He loves soccer.
Yeah.
And so to tie these two points together, just cut it out. I understand that you feel that there might be more like motivation needed or something like, oh, why would Bess, the cool alt girl, like the fucking puppy dog boy Scott? And it's like, because he's hot and nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Because he's the hot puppy dog boy.
Exactly. Like Josh has mentioned, like the moment where he knocks into Andy and he kind of like touches her shoulder, or the moment where he knocks into Bess and he's listening to Sum 41 and she's listening to Kevin
Mighty
Drums.
Hands.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, there's a line where he's like, yeah, this is what I'm listening to. It's called Mighty Hands.
Oh, in my head, he's listening to Sum 41 and she's listening to Kevin Drums' Sheer Hellish Miasma. So like those little tender moments, those little moments where like he's because he's a big dumb lug who's just like plowing straight ahead with his runs in his car or whatever, and he's not even realizing that these women are being just bowled over by these little like moments of attention.
Yeah, because it's not that I think this movie needed to be more complicated, and in fact, I think it's the reverse. And I wonder if the writer was just like, I have to give proper motivation, or I have to make this guy more than just an image that these women are projecting onto. But I think that's more interesting because that is what a crush is. Right. You are projecting onto this random hot guy at school. So like you can cut out so many problems, I think, in this movie. It wouldn't make the movie better, but it would give me less massive structural issues with it if you just like cut all of it out. Like, he's not an artist. He doesn't like it. That's like if you were being miseried and they're like, you have to like solve this Tetris. You have to beat me in Tetris and I'll let you out. And then you're like, I'm going to Tetris school because I love it so much. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I think there's really fertile ground. If you decided you did want to make this movie about something, it doesn't have to, but there's fertile ground for this guy who's just pleasant and like a teen heartthrob dog to be like, he's nice to me and I've decided that is all that matters. And now I am going to torture him and murder everyone he loves. And then, perhaps that could be part of like the theme. Make it simpler if you're going to make it simple.
Yeah. Keep it simple, stupid. That's exactly. Yeah. It's unforced. Because you've created caricatures out of everyone else, so why not him?
Yeah.
Like Bess is incredibly shallow. The teacher's shallow. Like, again, she's just hot teacher. She's busty hot teacher who wants to fuck. Girl next door is just girl next door. I guess Andy's just sociopath. But like, and again, like that idea, it does contain that morsel of like, I'm imparting this character with depth through this idea of art, and it's like, no, you're not. That's not how it works. It doesn't even really work in Titanic. The joke that I made earlier, it's like, because Kate Winslet's lives in this kind of like cold aristocratic world, and the world that Leo lives in is like full of life and poor people dancing and drawing nude things, but that's not, it doesn't work. You can't just like make a character or tell the audience that a character is an artist and expect them to be like, oh, he's so full of life and light that I was previously unaware of. No, that doesn't make sense. Viggo Mortensen painting big eyes in his apartment in that one fucking movie does not make him more interesting.
Perfect murder.
Yeah, a perfect murder.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because if you want to say that, you then have to show it. Like you have to,
exactly.
like that has to be, if you're going to go out of your way to make that part of the movie, you then have to show it, which means you have to spend runtime on it, which means you might as well at that point somehow make that about the theme. And if you can't do that, or there isn't room for it, or it doesn't work, then you have to not do that. And I think that's just what editing is.
Yeah.
And so so like they could have replaced all of these scenes where being like, actually you're a unique, interesting artist. Or I would even go so far as to say this weird, unexplained beef he has with the hot guy from Mindhunter and his like late mom. I don't know if she's dead or if she left the family. I'm confused about that.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be here because it's not part of the movie. It's confusing and it's awkward. And because it doesn't affect him and because it doesn't I'm not even saying everything has to serve the narrative like clockwork. I love a Shaggy movie, but this is not a Shaggy movie. It's just awkward. It's you've tried to give depth, but you've forgotten that if you want to do depth, you then have to make it part of the movie. And now as it is, it's just like it's like when you go into like the steampunk convention and somebody's just glued gears to a hat. That's what this is. This is gluing gears to a hat. I don't mean to like pick on a direct-to-video erotic thriller this hard. It's just like I would say this about. I mean, I feel like I would say this about like a Scorsese movie too. It's just like if things aren't fitting, or if you're just saying them to say them, then cut them. Don't create questions for me to think about.
So this is shifting gears a lot. I just remembered, and I guess I hadn't thought about the introductory sequence where we see two children on the roof.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
Okay, so boy and girl on a roof, and the boy is like, "Oh, I got a secret to tell. I kissed someone. I kissed another girl." And the girl's like, well, "You kissed the wrong girl," and she fucking like, presumably pushes him to his death.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'm like, okay, hell yeah, like we've like record time, we've arrived at a ghoul, right? Like, we understand that this is, and then it's again, like in the movie's idea of itself, it's keeping this kind of under lock and key, who the girl ends up being, but like this girl obviously is one of the players here, and she's grown up to be, continue this pattern of, I struggle when or what does Beth say? Like when I have a crush, it's like overwhelming, or it's like I do the wrong thing, or something to that effect of like, where the girl in the beginning, like it's, like you kissed the wrong girl. But and the thing about Bess too is that like the movie does nothing but show you how like unable to like connect with people, how timid, and also how kind she is, how sweet she is. That moment where girl next door is crying at the party, and there's a kind of like fake horror thing where like Bess reaches into her bag, and like we think, and she and the girl next door maybe thinks there's a knife or something in the bag, but it's actually just a tissue. It's a tissue because Bess is a nice, thoughtful girl. And in fact, like the only time that she really freaks out is when the glassy-eyed stalker, who's a freak and has a weird shaped head, is trying to fuck her. And and rightfully so. That actually might be the most perverse character in the whole film. You know, the whole like, well, you can't really choose who you love, and he's
yeah,
and he's like, you're telling me, and it's like, you just fucking you kind of just fucking insulted her. Like, I really didn't. I didn't really have a choice loving you, the fucking freak alt girl. But here I am.
Yeah. No, it's
Insane
crazy. That guy's so fucking creepy. Okay, because like, to the movie's credit, on screen you're watching Bess be like, okay, let me not stare at this boy's Facebook status for 7 hours. Okay, let me stop photoshopping myself into his Facebook photos. Well, again, you know, God forbid a girl have hobbies, but like, we on screen see her decide to like let that go, right? There's a scene where she like burns all of the articles she's collected about Scott's like soccer wins, so she's letting it all go. Okay, this guy does none of that. He just shows up and is gormlessly like locking the door after a psychopath gets shoved down a flight of stairs. And then she's like, actually, you're right. I did want this absolute dead-eyed freak in my bed. That makes a lot of goddamn sense. I was like, no, you're right the first time. At least that other guy's cute and nice.
No. He's introduced in like only ever shown as like a malicious figure in some sort of like reflective role of like her own obsession, right? Like it's just it's he's every bit as unhinged as her, and the movie is like, until the twist is about how unhinged she is. Like, it's just sort of accepted until the last 5 minutes that this guy is entirely bad news.
That was probably the worst thing that this movie lands like a wet slap, I would say, pretty much in every area, but probably the worst is that they're like, we're normal. You're normal. I love you now.
Right.
Let me kiss you at the pool.
Yeah. No, like, one cannot help but feel bad for the best character. It's like, the boy that was there all along, the one that would not leave me alone, the one that followed me home all the time. Like, you know, it's just like
the one who was stalking me to the location of the finale. Who just happened to be there because he was
following her,
maliciously following her.
It's like if Snow Day was evil. Do you guys remember Snow Day?
Oh yeah.
I think that was the first time as a kid I became aware of it being a trope where like the girl you actually like was there all along.
Yep.
Right. As a little boy, I think that was the first time I noticed it, and I'm just like, oh, this is if Snow Day was sinister and full of dark energy.
Punish Snow Day.
There are a couple fun, I don't want to say Easter eggs, because that's a deranged thing to use in this context. But I have some fun facts for you just in my journeys. The Collector, which is the novel that Bess is reading at the start of the movie and Andy is reading at the end of the movie, is cited by like half a dozen serial killers as like their serial killer awakening novel. Because it's about... forgive me, I don't know the novelist's name offhand, but it's about a man who like traps a woman in a basement, like keeps her in like a cage. So like, I think serial killers from like Dahmer to like David Parker Ray all cite the Collector as their like book where they're like, oh, maybe I'm a monster. So I don't know if that was like on purpose or what, but like it was a little bit of like
too obvious.
Yeah.
Or it's too direct. I wouldn't say it was obvious. I didn't know that, but now that you pointed that out, it's got to be full.
Yeah, no, you would have to be fairly perverse, I think, to notice that. So please keep listening to my podcast. You don't know what I'll do to Craig and Jennifer if you leave.
I want to talk about like the last scene, the sequel tease for The Crush 2 that never happened. So there's like a line in there where the excuse me, the like doctor or lawyer or whatever is like, you've used many names over the years, like and like he lists some out, and then Andy looks up and she has the same bangs that Bess did, that she did not previously have, and then and she says something like, I'd never stick around too long or whatever, and then it cuts to black, and I was like, well, was it like, I assume that was some sort of visual signifier that she was going to take over Bess's life, or she was going to start going by Bess or something, but there was no line where she's like, call me Bess or whatever, right? But it felt like it was like leading up to that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. Again, it's like it's this,
because she's reading the same book and everything, like you were saying.
Yeah. It's this last minute attempt to be like, oh, you know, she's not the hero. She's the ghoul with many faces, right? She isn't just this one like fixed character. She's every woman, right? She's unfixed in her identity and shapeshifts. And it's like, okay, but no, she was the comic book lady, right? Like it's like a last ditch attempt to add depth and nuance to a character that heretofore has had none. Yeah.
But then it's also like they were editing it and they were like, actually, that's kind of dumb. Maybe we should take that out. And so they remove like the line that makes it make sense, you know?
And I was wondering why they were, why she had her head in her lap. That whole, like, because like when he's speaking, we're not seeing her. She's got her head in her lap the whole fucking time. And then suddenly she looks up and she's got this like uncanny smile thing happening with the bangs. And I'm like, what were you just like inspired by Bat? Like, you know, like what's it's not only is it like an attempt to create like nuance and like intrigue where there was none. It's very muddy. Like it's very muddy and confusing what exactly they're trying to do there at the end. You know, it feels like it feels like they were very uncertain about what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there wasn't clarity to their act of construction in that final scene.
Yeah, because like I don't know if I want a sequel. You know what I mean?
No,
I don't think.
No.
But I also don't think I don't want a sequel. It seems like they're trying to do like a thing where they're establishing Andy's like pathology the way you would do for like Catherine Trammell, right? They're failing, obviously. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is, but I feel like this is what I've been thinking about, is that I think that if Crush, and this is terrible, right? Because I'm actively suggesting a different medium. If this was like a mini series, I think this could have worked, because I've watched shows like Cruel Summer, which only friend of the show Kyle DeLita has ever heard of, and they're basically this, right? It's like teenagers. Oh, you know what it is? It's like a off-brand Euphoria, where it's like teenagers are like having sex and into like adult situations, right? Like a 13 Reasons Why. But the reason why I think it would work as a show is that maybe we could have time for all of these suggestions to things that you want to do. So you could have 8 episodes for Scott to be like, I actually like drawing or whatever. You could have more time for Bess to be weird with it, which I think is one of the few things the movie is effective at. I think she's super fucking weird, and I think they do a great job with that. You could actually have Jules and Scott have like a relationship, because as it is, it's very funny that every time they meet, they're like, are you going to the party? Yeah. Are you heading to the party? I too am attending the party. The weekly function that the teenagers are doing. And I think in a series like this, which I think lends itself to this melodrama, I think there could have been success there. And then I think there wouldn't be a need for the sequel. You would have gotten all of your ideas out you could have freed yourself from these demons.
Yeah, I think that's just more ideas than they had.
Yeah. Then make
Like,
I don't know,
it was barely making it to 140, you know?
Yeah, because there's no way they really thought this was going to get a sequel, right?
No.
Like, it's a
No,
direct-to-video
no,
erotic thriller.
That's,
so why
that's a thing
why
we
try?
we see like The Crush ended like that too, right? Where it literally ends with a scene where she's in like a mental hospital, and it's like implying that she's going to ghoul like someone at the hospital.
Right.
Like that's just sort of a scene that will happen if the ghoul lives to the end.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's every bit as stock as, you know, the ghoul existing in the first place.
Right. The fact that she essentially looks at the camera and says, "I'm going to kill again." Yeah. But I mean, again, that's clarity. that's the type of clarity that this film can't arrive at.
It gives up before then.
Yeah, it has to be muddy and weird. And I do remember the ending of The Crush, which actually was very appropriate insofar as, forgive me, what's her name?
Alicia Silverstone.
Alicia Silverstone. Of course, you know, she has this obsession with older men, but as we discuss in that film, every older man in that film is a pedophile. So she's actually kind of working it, right? It's actually, she is playing the game and winning that, you know, in the way that we've seen. Here it's flat and strange. It doesn't work. It wants the gravitas of I'm going to kill again, but it does not get it. And it obviously did not get the money, the production money to continue.
I mean, frankly, they should have just killed her. Like when he kicks her down the stairs, she like hits her head and dies or whatever. And speaking of that, like incredible fear to do harm. Like I cannot believe the teacher lived. They had a candlelight vigil for her. I'm like, wow, she fucking died. And they're like, get well soon, Miss Brown.
Yeah,
and I'm
when I started reading that shit, I'm like, oh, she lived. Fuck. What's the quality of life after you've been logged?
It's just like a candlelight thing full of like signs and mementos. I think is a very specific sign and signifier, and it is not somebody in the hospital.
Yeah, right. It's not get well soon. Yeah, people crying, people hanging on each other's shoulders. Get well soon, teacher.
Yeah, and so like, this is direct to video. It's just weird that they were so unwilling to like. I mean, I guess she does ice the comic book guy, but like, I don't know. I don't even think the little boy at the beginning dies. I think the guy, the lawyer at the end is like, you hurt a boy, or whatever. And I'm like, let her kill.
Yeah. Again, can women live? Are women allowed to live?
You know what, Craig? You're right.
Yeah, thank you for standing up for us, Craig.
I have two small notes left. A couple friends' books are in the comic book shop. That was sort of fun.
Oh,
it was
nice.
It was like the Leo pointing at the screen meme. And then lastly, my final note, I can't believe this wasn't brought up before. There's just an active stalking app in this movie where
yes,
oh my God.
yes. Like, what the fuck?
So my note is typing at Craig Neeson into my ghouling app.
Yeah, it's great. Everyone's using an iPhone 4, and like she just fucking opens up Twitter and does like at Scott Soccer, and it just gives her a real time fucking tracking
location data,
like tracking location. Find my stalking victim.
Yeah, like for real.
That's so fucking awesome. Like that's like Musk could only dream of this now. This is what he wants immediately.
Yeah.
Find my ex-wife.
Do either of you have any final thoughts on Crush 2013?
Yeah, at one point she's just Googling how to kiss, which is really good.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
it says in like a detail, which it's too good to not be intentional. It's like how to kiss, and then there's a trademark sign at the after how to kiss. So it's like
What?
I don't know. She like it's an official. It's like the Prima official strategy guide for making out.
I'm still paying royalties to that fucking shit.
That's so awesome. Yeah, God, I forgot about the WikiHow for learning to kiss. I gave this 2.5 stars, and frankly, amazing. It's that high. This movie should have been terrified levels of bad, judging from the first 15 seconds. But it does, gripes aside, at least become a movie.
This is 3 stars for me. Had a much better time with it than I was expecting to.
Yeah.
I aimed low and was a little surprised. Hey.
Yeah, 3 stars easy. I mean, I was locked in from the beginning. I think that introduction of like, no, she's just born like this or whatever, was really captivating. No, I thought this was fun as hell. Again, it's a terrible film, but I thought it was really, really great.
If you want to watch a movie that only kind of works, it's on Tubi.
Guess what streaming service you're going to be able to find Crush on?
By the way, there's 11 movies called Crush, so
yeah. Again, this show will never run out of content.
Yeah. Yeah. The search query has to be Crush 2013 to find it. Just FYI.
You can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, so that is Apple Podcasts, that is Spotify, that is YouTube. Wherever you're watching, please rate, please review, please subscribe, please do all of that fun stuff. It helps the show. It helps our mental health. So yeah, there's all sorts of bonuses, mostly those 2 things, but all sorts of bonuses involved. You can also listen to the show on Patreon. Okay, so for as low as $1 American a month, you can get access to the entire back catalog of Patreon episodes, which is where we really get to let our hair down. And you wouldn't believe how long Craig's hair is these days.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
We all sit in Craig's hair talking about
it's shedding so much, Craig. Craig, if you get it cut, you won't lose length, but you will lose the shedding. Why aren't you listening to me, Craig? Craig, look at me. Craig.
I'm the son in The Killing of a Sacred Deer at the end where I'm like, Dad, you're right. I should have cut my hair.
No, 100%. Yeah. So if you wanna hear us talk about stuff outside of the usual sort of stuff we talk about on the show, it's not even movies all the time, frankly. So if you want to check that out, please subscribe to the Patreon. Okay, so that is patreon.com/swimfans. Thank you to all of the patrons. Love and cherish you so much. And you can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. You can find the show on all the social medias. So that is Blue Sky, Instagram, Letterboxd. That's user SwimFans Pod. Give us a follow over there. And you can find me at all those same spots. User Amons, AMONNS. I was traveling for the holidays, so I haven't really seen anything, but I did show all of my cousins Jackass 2, which we've talked about on the show. Many of my cousins are like Gen Z or below. I don't know how young it goes.
They're not familiar with Anaconda Ball Pit.
They're not familiar with the Anaconda Ball Pit, and also
So this is actually sort of the reason we even got to Jackass 2 is that we were doing stick and poke tattoos and drinking as a family does.
Awesome.
And so we but like the vibe was like a little low energy and I wanted to pump it up. So of course, what am I doing? I'm putting on Whitney Houston. I'm putting on Britney Spears. And I have a cousin who is, in fairness to him, 22 and is not from America. All right, so it's okay to not be as in the know about Britney Spears as somebody else may, who is like a gay millennial American, right? So, but like he'd never heard of her in his life, which I found atrocious. So we listened to a bunch of Britney Spears. He'd never heard of Whitney Houston. Madonna had never come up before.
Wow.
Evidently, I don't know.
Mariah.
So. We didn't get to Mariah, but I'm certain the answer would have been no. And so from pop divas, we went to pop punk, which got us inevitably to Jackass 2. So I really tried to share what it was like being like the age of like 8 to 15 in America in the aughts, the late 90s to the aughts. Yeah, that was me. Jen.
Wait, what did they think of Jackass 2?
Oh, heater. Everybody liked it.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah, everybody was pretty locked the fuck in for Jackass 2.
You can follow me on Blue Sky, diatron5.swimfanspod.com. I'm on Letterboxd Diatron. This weekend, I wanted to like not care about what I watched. So I just wanted to watch. I wanted to watch recklessly, you know.
That's really. They should put that on a Hobby Lobby throw pillow.
So I rewatched. I woke up Sunday morning and I rewatched all of Fincher's Dragon Tattoo, and I had a great time. Then I watched the whole new part of Stranger Things. Yeah, Craig. Craig.
You can find me at Craig Neeson on Instagram and Letterboxd, craigneeson.com. I've seen quite a lot recently. Nothing good. A lot of bad, one good. One of the bad, I saw House of Dynamite, which has Idris Elba and Rebecca Ferguson, by Catherine Bigelow. A famed director of such films as Zero Dark 30, and other things funded by the CIA.
Near Dark owns.
Yeah.
Strange Days owns.
There's a missile coming to the U.S. and we get to see a cross section of the U.S. Political class, military class, responding to the incoming missile, and it's a piece of shit. Don't watch it. I also saw 1971, I believe, Daughters of Darkness, which I adored. If you love lesbians and vampires and lesbian vampires, boy, do I have a movie for you.
Yeah, we all do.
Completely elegant, just like cold, but like voluptuous vampire movie. Came out a year before The Bitter Tears of Petra von Kant, and I'm absolutely certain that it influenced the lead eponymous character, Petra von Kant. It's about being a lesbian vampire, and can't speak highly enough of it. 1971, check it out. Also, the reason why I've known about it for so long is because one of my favorite bands of all time, Natural Snow Buildings, have a 6-hour record called Daughters of Darkness, and I was like, oh, I think they named their record after this movie. They did. Good fucking record. Mm-hmm. Again, it's 6 hours long. If you're into that kind of thing, and it's a good movie too. Good record, good movie.
There used to be a podcast called that.
It's good. It's a good fucking title.
It was a film podcast by Sam Deegan and Kat, like Ellinger, I think her name was.
Word.
It was good.
As always, watch recklessly.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't believe the government just bought Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, she's just a line item. Just like
it's literally they just like on like the fucking like military contract budget. They just got her on payroll. Like it's nuts.
It's like an Excel spreadsheet. It's just like 10 Hellfire missiles, 1 Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah, like that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
She only makes that now.
Listen, I'm not saying I wouldn't do that if I had a sweet government contract. Listen, I'm the level of broke where I'm like, I will do propaganda. Please hire me for propaganda film.
All these gay tiger men, like recruitment posters.
Weeping about Charlie Kirk. Yeah, absolutely.
He has like cat ears.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.